What's going on, y'all? How's everybody been doing? How's everybody been doing? So if you guys read those comments, that is actually a question that I do get quite often, whether it's social media or just in person. And I can relate to your questions because it wasn't that long ago I was that same individual, asking drivers, how do you get in, or are y'all hiring? So it's like I can relate, to a lot of those things. I will say there's no magic word, there's no secret to getting in. There's no secret. To get in, you need to first make sure that you meet the requirements. What are the requirements? Obviously you gotta have if you want to do a driver position, you need to have your CDL. If you want to do city and Linehaul, you need to be at least 23. You need to have all your endorsements. Same with P&D. Make sure, guys, too, that you don't have that automatic restriction. I know for some of you guys that's going to be the deal breaker. A lot of these terminals, they won't hire you with that automatic restriction. The reason being is at Southeastern, we are not 100% automatic. We still have 10 speeds around. And before I go any further, let me just go ahead and state this. I'm not a spokesperson, guys, for the company. I'm just a driver stating my own views and opinions. So let's continue. So I know a lot of you guys, that come up to me, you guys are interested in the position that I have, which is Linehaul. Now, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I'm gonna be 100% honest with you guys. Getting Linehaul here, it's not easy to come by, At this company, it's seniority based. They like to hire within. So in a lot of cases, you're not going to be able to walk into Southeastern's doors and get Linehaul right on the spot. A lot of times it doesn't happen that way, depending on the terminal. Let me explain to you how it works. In a lot of cases, they're gonna make you start off in the city, because you have P&D drivers that'll wait months, sometimes years, to go Linehaul. So when a Linehaul spot opens up, a lot of times they're gonna give it to one of those drivers before they hire out. And even with that, it's seniority based. So like, let's just say, guys, there's 5 P&D drivers that say, hey, I want to go Linehaul. Well, they're gonna go in seniority order. So the number 1 P&D guy, like, let's just say again, there's 5 guys. That the one with the most seniority out of those 5 is gonna go Linehaul first. And over here, we rebid every 6 months. So one bid, he might get it. Next bid, the number 2 guy might get it. And then there's no telling when a spot will open up, because here at Southeast, a lot of these drivers, especially on the Linehaul side, you're gonna notice they're older. Out of my term, we have over 70 Linehaul drivers. I think I'm the youngest. I think I'm the youngest one. I probably am, and I'm only 27. So you're gonna see drivers that are in their 60s, maybe even 70s, 50s, 40s. The point is, a lot of these guys are older. They've been with the company forever. And drivers, they typically don't leave unless they're either retiring or they just can't drive anymore. Whether that's medical condition, And I mean, occasionally, you know, you'll have drivers that'll just quit or, you know, get fired, but that's not the norm here. You know, drivers typically stay here until they retire, especially on the line haul side. Now, for those of y'all that are struggling to get P&D, even with that, you know, it's stepping stones to that, because over here we have what's called final mile. Now, with final mile, those are typically your drivers that just transitioned from being dock workers. So, of course, they're not going to have a CDL. So let's play this scenario. Like, let's just say a P&D spot opens up, right? And you have a final mile driver that just got his or her CDL. In a lot of cases, they're going to give that brand new P&D driver that position. You know, that driver's already put in time with the company. You know, they worked the dock, they did final mile, they got their CDL. So now they're going to give them that opportunity to work the city. Now, let's just say they don't have anybody to take that position. Then, you know, they'll, you know, hire, you know, somebody from the outside, you know. And just like with any other LTL company, unlike truckload, they don't just hire, guys. They don't just hire to hire. It's not like truckload where they'll just hire maybe 10, 20 drivers. No, here, if you see one P&D spot open, or if you see one line haul posting, chances are they're only gonna hire one driver. And this company, you know, they get waves and waves of applications. So imagine 300 applicants. They're only gonna pick one out of those 300 plus applications that they get. And I know, guys, it sounds, you know, it'll make you get discouraged. I know, because I remember that feeling. You know, I would call, they would say, oh, we got hundreds of applications and we're only gonna fill in one. And, you know, in my mind, I'm thinking like, dang, I don't stand a chance, because, you know, you might get somebody that has LTL experience. And for those of y'all that are new to my channel, you know, I have LTL experience. I did a little over 3 years at AAA Cooper before coming over here. So I came with experience. And, you know, and it made me think, it's like, dang, I got my whole experience. Like, why is it so hard for me to get in? You know, I'm thinking like, is this something I'm doing wrong? But it's just, guys, it's just that competitive. And then you got, you know, P&D drivers that are tired of the city and want to transition, you know. So I'll tell you guys this, don't give up. But let's switch gears. Let me tell y'all how I got in. Now, my process getting in, it wasn't easy. I'd be lying if I told y'all I just applied and I got in. Guys, it took me years, and I mean, it took me years to get into this company, you know. I probably applied here well over 20 times. But what I did was I would constantly call the terminal manager. Now, of course, when I called, I almost would never get an answer. I would always, you know, leave a voicemail, and I stayed consistent. And I would ask current drivers, how do I get in? Like, how do I get in? I have the experience. How do I get on? And, you know, this guy told me, he's like, you just got to bug them. Just keep calling. Just keep calling. And maybe, you know, you'll get in. So one day, you know, my terminal manager, you know, he calls me and, you know, he tells me, you know, thank you for applying, but, you know, the position has been filled. I guess that's his way of saying, you know, stop calling up here. It's been filled. You know, that's what I got out of it. You know, he was nice about it, but that's what I got out of it. So, you know, maybe 2 weeks later, he calls me and he's asked, you know, am I still interested? And I say yes. So he asked me, you know, when would I be available, you know, for an interview? So, you know, I give him the day. I come up there. I do the interview. Now, the funny thing is, the wrong person interviewed me. I ended up getting interviewed by the assistant center manager. you know, and the service center manager, he ended up interviewing the wrong. So they basically had it flip-flop. So I ended up getting interviewed by the assistant and the head terminal manager. And I could tell, you know, they were very impressed, you know, with my resume, and they were really impressed that I knew so much about the company. Like, they were kind of surprised that I knew what I knew, considering I didn't work for the company yet. But ultimately, you know, he says, you know, he still has a few more applicants to interview, and he'll call me sometime next week, regardless if I get it or not. So I get a call the following week, and he offered me the position, and, you know, of course I took it, and it was history from there. Been here, you know, ever since. You know, so the moral of this little story, guys, is never give up, you know. And let me also mention this: if you live in an area where the terminal is small, just know it will be hard to get on. Because I do have a buddy of mine, he runs out of Gulfport, Virginia. Shout out to Shelby. He's been there for over a year now, and he's still last in seniority. Like, he has not moved at all. I think he said they only have 10 Linehaul drivers, and he's number 10. So that's a perfect example. Smaller terminals, it'll be hard to get in, and if you do get in, just know it's gonna take you years to even move up in seniority. So just keep that in mind. I run out of a huge terminal, and I have moved up since being here. I'm still nowhere near the top, but I'm not at the very bottom like I once was. But anyway, hope this information helps. Let me know, guys, if you have any additional questions. As I always tell y'all, thank you. And again, thank you to all my day one subscribers. Thank you to all my new subscribers. I appreciate all of you guys. And as I always tell y'all, y'all take it easy, and y'all stay safe.